they are definitely going to be benefited by that. Yeah.
Well, we have with us Shashank Bhandari also. Shashank Bhandari, how do you see two chief ministers who are facing from the India bloc, so that we in fact put it in a context, two chief ministers from the India bloc who have been facing court cases, and on one part of it, one person had to in fact resign and then face the court, while the other person stood with his constitutional position and went ahead with his case in the court. Do you think that could have been advantages to the other person also who has been facing a series of cases? Because you're
no, I
also
don't think
a lawyer.
that is the case.
All right.
You're right. You're right. I don't think that is the case. But I think what is unprecedented and what has happened for the first time is, I don't know if how much of what I said before could be heard. But as a lawyer, I've seen various reasons. I've seen on various accounts and issues, court granting interim bail. There is no such process of interim bail, but it's coined for the purpose of granting bail in those circumstances where even bail cannot be granted, right? And so reasons like my wife is unwell, I have to go and take care of her, I have to take care of my aging mother, I have to go and look after my farm, etc., so on and so forth. So all these reasons you come across usually as a lawyer. But I have to go and manage my party's elections is, I think, the first time in the history of in the judicial history of India. So it's a new trend which will probably start. I'm sure it is going to benefit other parties as well, on the basis that their elections are pending, and so they could do it.
Well, also, Shashank, I just wanted to ask, when a person is holding a constitutional position still, when he is being taken into custody, now that is the kind of situation that we have seen over here. Mostly the people who have been accused tend to resign, then go into custody. But this is not the case that has happened over here. Do you think this is also a big precedent that we are looking at?
Not exactly. Not exactly. I don't think that has found a lot of place in the judgment insofar as, the order is...
Because when the arguments, when they were talking about, he's also a person who's holding, he's a political executive, if I remember that is the right word that has been used by the court. So just wanted to understand that a person holding a position or as a political executive, does it give any advantage or disadvantage in that case?
Not at all. Not at all. In
Okay.
my understanding, in my understanding, that is, if that is a point of advantage, I think court would have discussed it and mentioned it very specifically. Would have thrown light on it that it is not a point of contention at all. The bail is being granted purely on the concept or on the belief that he was arrested right before elections. So the timing is suspect, not the position. Also, people resign. Many ministers in the past have also resigned before getting arrested. It is purely for two reasons. One is to protect the sanctity of the office. Second, it is to restore faith in the public that your chief minister or your minister is behind the bars. At least somebody else comes in and will take over the policy issues, take over the day-to-day handling of the government. Governance will not suffer. That is the idea why people resign usually. But I think Arvind Kejriwal has made it his personal mission, has made it his personal post as a chief minister, and it is too dear to him for him to even let it be till the time he is in custody. I think the biggest disadvantage, as you were putting out, is to the people of Delhi, that they are facing policy paralysis.
All right, we will in fact slip into a short break now. News updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We will get you the latest as Arvind Kejriwal's convoy heads to the Hanuman temple, and we will get you the latest from the area as well. For now, we slip into a short break.
A defiant performance by Ten Hag's men. Now standing at 7 feet 4 inches, Satnam Singh is making his way into professional wrestling.
We are getting more good news for India.
That ink is a semi-permanent dye called the indelible ink.
We are the sole manufacturer of this indelible ink.
Don't try to repair something which is working.
And if you have facial recognition, you can go vote in any booth anywhere based on where you are, and then it will be recorded that you can't vote anywhere else again.
Can we retire indelible ink and use biometrics? Theoretically, my answer would be yes.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Well, as the cavalcade of Arvind Kejriwal in fact makes it to the Hanuman temple, AAP leaders have been in fact congregating at the Hanuman temple area. These are in fact the visuals that show that the convoy has in fact reached the iconic area of Connaught Place. We can see the white buildings surrounding the area of Connaught, and there the convoy heading towards the temple, and already there's a huge presence of AAP leaders and cadres at the temple premises. These are in fact live visuals that show the convoy of Arvind Kejriwal moving towards the Hanuman temple in Connaught Place. In fact, it's almost there is what we understand. He's about to reach the temple premises. And interestingly enough, I think I'll try to get Ravi Srivastav into this. If you remember, just ahead of the assembly elections, since we are talking about him going to the Hanuman temple, there was a recitation by the Chief Minister of Delhi then before the campaigning about the Hanuman Chalisa. And it was one recitation that went completely viral, and of course now we see him at the Hanuman temple in Connaught Place. Well, many of them have in fact raised the question whether he is religious enough, not religious enough, and how do you see this aspect of it? Ravi, if you are still with us?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible now. Yes.
Yeah. See, religion is an individual belief. One what practices inside his house or practices outside, it is purely a personal thing. It has nothing to do with the party. It has nothing to do with the ecosystem. So Arvind Kejriwal is a Hanuman Bhakt. He does Hanuman Chalisa part. Even he arranged for every Tuesday there will be Sundarkand part of Ramayana in various constituencies of Delhi. He himself recites Hanuman Chalisa whenever gets opportunity. He arranged for the Diwali function with his family at I hope you recall that was a public show. So he is a religious person and he has no regret about saying it. But the party and he himself by his thought is a very secular person. So we should not read too much into it. And he, whenever he gets an opportunity, goes to Hanuman temple, he goes to for worshipping and all that. Now, I just wanted to add, Varghese, this my lawyer friend was just now saying, a learned lawyer, that he was talking about unprecedented. I agree, it is unprecedented, but there was a precedent. A few days before, if you recall, Justice Swarnakanta Sharma allowed a bail to a Mr. Dilip Ray, who was a convicted politician for contesting election on the BJP ticket. So that was something I would not call it unprecedented, because I heard Mr. Kapil Sibal giving a talk on this, that if you are convicted and you want to contest the election, the court can go to the extent of giving you a bail for that very purpose, and you can contest the election. But if you are in a custody, then it becomes unprecedented if you are given the bail, which is being said about Arvind Kejriwal. So this is a unique thing in the law, that if you are convicted, you can do, because the sanctity of participating in the democratic process is a right. This is what court also feels. So they have given an opportunity to that person. The honorable judge has given to the opportunity to that person, Mr. Dilip Ray. But in Arvind Kejriwal's case, it is called unprecedented, never heard of, away from that what are the common practices in the court of law and any ordinary other Aam Aadmi will not get such opportunity to campaign for the party and all. All these things are being said. Yeah.
Well, there we have Arvind Kejriwal inside the premises of the Hanuman Mandir in Connaught Place, and of course accompanied by the Chief Minister of Punjab as well. Bhagwan Mann is also with him. Large crowds at the temple, and as Arvind Kejriwal makes his way towards the Sanctum Sanctorum, the priests of the temple also prepare for the worship rituals to be carried out as such when the Chief Minister is inside there. He has also reached the Sanctum Sanctorum of the temple, just outside the Sanctum Sanctorum, and he is in fact engaging with the prayers and worship session there. A huge gathering at the temple, as we can see, a huge gathering of AAP workers as well as several devotees as well at the Hanuman Mandir, and the Delhi Chief Minister who at the temple, and this was the first planned stop of the day for the Delhi Chief Minister, after which at 1 o'clock he will be holding a press conference, and we will in fact get you live from the AAP HQ on the press conference that will be held by Kejriwal. And of course there we have more visuals coming in of the Delhi Chief Minister at the Sanctum Sanctorum of the temple, and the priests in fact also carrying on with the worship rituals.
स्टिल कैमरा नीचे अरे कैमरा अभी यार अरे पढ़ने के थोड़ा पीछे स्टिल यार
The Delhi Chief Minister has been accompanied by the Chief Minister of Punjab, Bhagwan Mann, as well. These are the visuals coming in from the Hanuman Mandir in Connaught Place, where we can see the Delhi Chief Minister attending to the special worship session, as well as a huge gathering is also present as he visits the Hanuman Mandir in CP. We also have with us Shashank Bhandari, advocate as well as political analyst. Shashank Bhandari, how much of an advantage do you see this particular release of Kejriwal, especially when we look at the situation in Punjab? Because in Punjab, AAP is in fact going it alone. 13 of the 13 seats they are planning to do. There have been in fact question about whether AAP will have its presence registered in Haryana in one of the seats as well. So AAP is technically looking at expansion, and of course the star campaigner for AAP at the moment was Arvind Kejriwal, and he was in custody for a long time, and therefore the initial three phases the India bloc did lose out on the advantage. But when we talk about Haryana, Punjab to an extent, how much of Arvind Kejriwal would be an energizing factor?
It is a case in politics, Varghese, where we use the term, how do I put it? We use the term strange bedfellows. I think that is a case of this alliance. In Haryana, they would be aligning. In Delhi, they might be aligning. In Punjab, they are at each other's throat. In Chandigarh, they are together. Imagine Chandigarh has villages which have roads intertwined with the villages of Punjab. So, and one brother lives on one side, the other brother lives on the other side. I was hearing the candidates speak about this. Very interestingly, on one side of in Chandigarh, the capital of Punjab, they are in an alliance. As soon as they enter within 100 meters, they are at each other's throats. So it is very convenient. People can actually see through this. In a very concerted manner, they are trying to group or trying to partner with each other when there is BJP. When there is no BJP, or they feel that BJP is not a strong force or a contender, they're there against each other. So people can see through this, and I don't think it is going to impact so much. I mean, going to Hanuman Mandir and worshipping Lord Hanuman is all fine. We all know that one of the greatest devotees of Lord Shiva was Ravana himself. So, so it's good if Kejriwal feels that his Sankat has been moved or removed by Sankat Mochan, so he should go and definitely pay his obeisance. But I would just like to quickly come to the point that the previous panelist was having with you, sharing with you regarding a gentleman called Dilip Ray. I think it is. I think we take this very conveniently. We try to pick out the facts and present it, which I think is slightly at times misleading. Please understand that Dilip Ray is himself contesting. Is Arvind Kejriwal himself contesting an election? So much so that if I have to compare who is being granted bail or interim bail to go and file their nominations, etc. If Dilip Ray has been granted at the same time, Amrit Pal has not been granted. He's in custody for his cases against NIA, by the NIA, and so on that purpose he is not being granted. So he's been asked to submit his papers in the court, his nomination papers. And here Kejriwal is out here for campaigning for his party. He's not even a contestant in any of the seats. If he was a contestant, there is an argument, but he is not. So it is unprecedented that way, that I am the chief minister in jail, and because I am the chief minister in jail and my party is going to contest elections, I should be granted bail.
Well, Shashank, one thing that is in fact clear is that, of course, you did point about the rivalry as saying. Are you saying is the anti-BJP factor the only glue point for the India alliance?
Please tell me if there is anything else. I'm more than willing to be enlightened today in your debate. If you feel that there is anything else which is gluing all these forces together, only for the purpose of trying to be some kind of force, formidable force against the BJP. And look at the length and breadth each and every party is going. Here they're aligning with somebody who wants quota in the OBCs. This gentleman is going to Hindu temple and praying to Lord Hanuman that thank you, Lord Hanuman, that you have granted me interim bail so that I can come and contest elections. Their ally in the south is talking about removing Sanatan Dharam and beating anybody who's practicing Sanatan Dharam. So please look at the fallacies amongst themselves. Wherever they are going, and so you look at the Nyaya Yatra, wherever Rahul Gandhi went with his Nyaya Yatra, he was not allowed entry, so to speak, in terms of either seat sharing or kind of giving him a political space, be it Bengal, be it Delhi and Punjab, they're against each other in South. So wherever there is no BJP, they're in contest against each other. So this alliance itself is a fallacy.
Well, let me take this question to Ravi Srivastava as well. Ravi Srivastava, there is a point that has been asked, is BJP, the anti-BJP glue factor that keeps the India alliance growing? Because AAP, in fact, came into existence as a party that went against corruption in the Congress. Now, it built, most of its politicians have built careers against the Congress and has also been Congress bashing as such. And now the same party is in alliance with AAP, and Congress is in alliance with AAP, and we see the seat distribution itself, 4 in which AAP will contest in Delhi out of the 7, and the 3 will be looked into Congress. We have seen how that confusion has resulted in Arvind Lovely also resigning from the party post. So actually on the ground, does an alliance like this actually make logical sense? On one side you are at each other's throats, on the other side where the BJP is there, you come together saying that it is an alliance. So where does this alliance start and where does this alliance end? It looks like a pragmatic chaos, if it is, that's what could be termed it as. Ravi, you are still with us?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
When all those statements were made in 2013 and 14, India had democracy, India had constitution, India had a freedom of speech, India had a press freedom. All those things were there, which are all absent today. So there is no question of comparing that what was said 10 years before or 11 years before and what is happening today. Socially, politically, economically, on all 3 fronts, this ruling BJP government in last 10 years has destroyed the country. I think if somebody says India bloc is for opposing BJP, there's nothing wrong in it. It's a fact. Because the way
No, but the
democracy
question
has
over
been
there,
governed-
the question over there is the alliance. I mean, the question over there they're talking about is the
I'm
alliance.
telling you, alliance is absolutely for right reasons, because the way this ruling government is using, misusing and abusing the constitutional agencies, ED, CBI, income tax, NIA and all, to finish the opposition. I think they're very right. They are fighting this force. The democracy has been killed in this country. I don't say it. This is said by the Honorable Supreme Court. They have got one Mr. Anil Masih who defaced 8 votes in Chandigarh for an ordinary mayoral election. Imagine. I mean, such are the situation that all, the country is under a debt of some 205 lakh crores. So who is answerable for that? You call of inflation, you call of the rupee value, you call of the export. You only say we are a third, fifth power, economical power, going to become a third. With 80 crore people being fed on the hands of the government of India by giving them 5 kg ration. What kind of economy are we? I mean, this is what the India bloc has brought, especially I would say Congress, has brought certain good things in the manifesto. They are talking about some pragmatic things. Like 30 lakh government jobs, they'll be filling up immediately. They'll be giving 1 lakh people.
No, I was talking about, I'm not talking about the manifesto or the economy. We'll have a debate on it a little later. I was just talking about a little part of it. I mean, I want to know whether this is a pragmatic chaos that you're looking at. You know, when the BJP is there, it's time to be an ally. When the BJP is not there, when it is only a presence where you have, like how, we have Mr. Bhandari has raised it, when there is no BJP, you have your own politics. You are bipolar in that place. Similarly, what's happening in Kerala, you have the Congress, UDF and the LDF against each other, but on the national level, they are allies. So the confusion remains in the voter as to what you are. That is the question that is being asked.
An alliance is not an identity in itself. An alliance is a group of people who have got a common thinking platform, a common kind of a program. On all everybody on the same platform. I said they are fighting with each other in West Bengal. They are fighting with each other in Kerala. They have got differences at other places as well. But one fact is certain, that they are fighting unitedly against wherever the BJP is there. So they are opposing BJP for its policies. They are opposing BJP for giving some 22 trillionaires in this country who have amassed the 40% of the country's wealth. So this is what in economic inequality, disparity in wages. Even the Congress has offered the Manrega wages increase from 200 to 400 rupees a day. Why can't this government do it? They have been squeezing people from all fronts. Our savings have gone down. 10 lakh crore, the savings have gone down in the last 2 years of the households in this country. So the people are getting poorer and poorer, and some people are getting richer and richer. And now Mr. Modi himself is talking about that tempo, the Adani and Ambani are giving the black money to them. What Mr. Modi did in the demonetization? Why could he not catch that black money? And how it means he was taking that money earlier, now it is going to Congress.
Mr. Prime Minister, you made your point. In fact, we get that point. Let me, in fact,
statements he is making on the
we
floor.
get that point. Now, let me take that same question to Shashank Bhandari as well. Shashank, what do you think it is? Is the pragmatic chaos that the opposition is looking at? That is to say that, as you pointed out, is it when convenience is at work, it's an alliance. When convenience is not at work, of course, we are at each other's throats. So, do you think just a pragmatic chaos that we are seeing at?
Yes, absolutely. I think pragmatic chaos is a beautiful term that you've used. It's a learning for me on Saturday morning. Thank you. And I think, I'm sorry, but on lighter note, Srivastavaji is probably slightly antagonized by your term pragmatic chaos. I just need to explain this to your viewers, Varghese, with your permission. Please understand. Now, Mr. Srivastava was talking about 2013. Aam Aadmi Party is a genesis. In 2013 is a genesis of anti-corruption and anti-Congress movement. Today they are aligning with Congress in New Delhi. Today they are aligning with Congress in Chandigarh. They are fighting against each other in Punjab. What is the reason? It is purely pure convenience to the point that we are going to befool the people that on the platform of anti-corruption he came in. Our leader has just been released on bail in a case filed by the ED. 350 crore rupees cash has been seized from one Congress MP's house, 50 plus crore rupees from some TMC MLA's house, which are, by the way, alliance partners of Aam Aadmi Party in those states where Aam Aadmi Party is insignificant, right? Congress is the party which has moved the complaint in Liquorgate. I have to remind this to your viewers that Congress party leaders like Supriya Sheenet and I think Arvinder Lovely were the ones who moved the complaint, Ajay Makan, who moved the complaint against Aam Aadmi Party in New Delhi. And Mr. Srivastava is trying to defend them at in your news debate is I think very tickling, so to speak. When we come to economy, on the point of economy, if they think that they're all together, it is probably where they're plundering government resources in the state governments that they are in power. Plundering all of that together is where I think they form some kind of consonance. I don't see any other consonance in this alliance. 40 crore people. He's talking about international facts about press freedom, etc. Other reports. Morgan Stanley's come out with a report that 40 crore people in India have come out of multi-dimensional poverty. Now, there is no defense to this. You are a growing economy. People have actually synchronized with Narendra Modi and his vision of Viksit Bharat, which I think is taking forward this country. I feel that opposition is lacking in imagination. Opposition does not have a product or an alternate apart from the fact that we are going to be anti-BJP. Or we are trying to protect this democracy. We are trying to protect this economy. In fact, if you could just give me one moment, very interesting. I would like to take, and I think Srivastava would be aware, given his age and experience, about the license Raj, right? Rahul Gandhi is talking about X-ray policy, about going to your home and trying to find out whatever cash is there, and wealth redistribution is the debate that they want to have. Indira Gandhi brought in license Raj, where certain businesses which had to be promoted were promoted, and all of the other businesses were stifled out under the garb of license Raj. It is no different from the X-ray policy that her grandson's talking about. Rajiv Gandhi goes to a drought-hit area in 1985 in Odisha and makes a statement there that I disburse 1 rupee and only 15 paisa reaches the people who need it. Is this the wealth redistribution they're talking about? And then his son, which is Rahul Gandhi, goes and talks about poverty is a state of mind. Please tell me where do you see a connect with your viewers?
Right.
I think it's for your viewers to understand where is the connect between the voter and this political party.
Yeah, right. Shankar, we have in fact Anurag Naidu also who's joining us, who's the political analyst. Anurag, Arvind Kejriwal's release, Aam Aadmi Party getting advantageous interim bail. How do you think this would in fact have an impact on the elections? Because Aam Aadmi's seats are only coming up for the polls as such. And how do you in fact read it in the larger context of the India alliance? In fact, Anurag, can you unmute your this thing?
Yeah. Thank you for having me on the show. Yes, I think, as an analyst, not taking a side, I clearly see there would be a bit of influence on the campaign of India Alliance in Delhi by the release of Arvind Kejriwal. I don't want to write off his influence on the voter. We have to understand he's a chief minister. He's a very popular chief minister of Delhi. And by all good or bad, he's been in jail. And the campaign war cry has also been jail ke badle vote. So that jail is in the center of the narrative in the Delhi campaign, right? So, as an analyst, I would say, I honestly feel BJP has a very good edge in these 7 seats. But this time around, it is a bipolar contest between, the India Alliance and the BJP. So it has not been a bipolar for a long time in Delhi. So we need to see how it all evolves. But I surely feel, there were a lot of people, the pollsters that I was talking to over a few days who always mentioned, when I spoke to them about the projection of Delhi, when all the other predictions, I said, okay, Delhi is going to be 7 out of 7 for BJP. But then all of them cautioned me that, if Kejriwal is released, at least even a week before the polls and make an impact. I don't know how much of an impact they'll create, but certainly on some seats where Aam Aadmi Party is strong, you would see an influence of Mr. Kejriwal coming out and campaigning, particularly with the war cry of jail ke badle vote. So I think that is something interesting to watch out for. But I honestly feel, the narrative when they are leaving this war cry of jail ke badle vote, I don't think they have any strong narrative at all because, they've aligned with Congress and Congress is after Aam Aadmi Party. After the liquor scam, as somebody rightly mentioned. They're fighting it out in Telangana against the KCR family, and the same family is involved with Kejriwal, where Congress goes out in campaigns. You also have to see what was the political beginning of the Arvind Kejriwal. I was seeing these visuals when he was entering home, and it reminded me back in the days when he was entering the politics, right? So first time Chief Minister from an apartment, media would be outside the apartment, he just get into an apartment, a small, beautiful house. But now look at the house. It's a bungalow. You have servants with uniforms, gloves, whatnot. And, he started with a Wagoner. Now we see him in a Land Cruiser, in a convoy of Land Cruiser in Punjab. So where did we start and where did we end up? And that is all. All these things people do observe and people do realize the changing, stands and the changing colors. I think that is exactly where the credibility of Arvind Kejriwal will also be, tested. I don't want to discredit him for the victories that he has got in the state elections, but I think as far as the parliament elections are concerned, in Delhi, they've never been successful. So it is a testimony of the fact that he lacks probably consistency, but he wants to evolve as a national leader, but there've been no blessing from the people of this country. So consistency, again, it will be a test of consistency for Mr. Kejriwal. Interesting to see how people of Delhi would react to this. That's why he said he's not talking on issues. The whole cadre of Aam Aadmi Party is only talking about jail ke badle vote. How much it will fly, only time will tell. But I would say he would have some kind of influence. Also, the cadre will be a little bit, they will have a bit of a mojo now. But I would see the voters will be the ones to decide finally. And I still feel BJP has a very good amount of edge in Delhi. But interesting to see how it spans out.
Well, thank you, Anurag, for in fact joining us. Thank you, Ravi Srivastava, as well as Mr. Bhandari for being with us. It's been an interesting day with the start of the Aam Aadmi campaign already. The Chief Minister of Delhi visited the Hanuman Temple. We, in fact, will now wait for the press conference, which will come from the AAP headquarters at 1 p.m. With that, it's a wrap on this special show. Stay tuned to News 9 for further news updates.
Apart from the language, it comes down to what is the right question you're going to ask.
And AI has been around for a long time. It's definitely not new. Because of AI, the language barrier is broken down. What is generative AI doing today? It doesn't matter whether it is language, image, it can see, it can hear, it can speak, it has intelligence, and it can also remember. It has memory. It's here to augment, not replace, right? It'll improve the productivity of a marketer, of a journalist, of a news anchor. It's not going to replace you. You don't need massive computational powers to basically do this. Just using one or two images of yours, a video can be created.
All of this is real. All of us here are real people. Hello and welcome. You are watching Boardroom Brunch on News 9. I am Krishna Kumar.
And I'm Karthik Malhotra.
And on this edition of Boardroom Brunch, we are discussing the future of artificial intelligence. And to do that, we have a very special set of guests joining us. We have Sangeeta Gupta, Senior Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer, NASSCOM. We also have Sangeeta Bavi, Executive Director, Digital Natives, Microsoft. And Santosh Tiwari, Partner, EY Parthenon. Thank you so much for taking time out to be with us on this very special edition of Boardroom Brunch. It's interesting that we called it Future of Artificial Intelligence when artificial intelligence is so much part of our present already and has been part of our recent past as well. Every single recommendation we get on YouTube or any streaming platform is all generated by artificial intelligence. And the problem here is that most people talk about artificial intelligence and AI only with respect to generative AI. But then AI is an entire world of its own. So, Sangeeta, if I were to start asking you, tell us, what is the present of AI before we even start discussing the future of AI?
No, great question. And AI has been around for a long time. It's definitely not new.